Right then guys, welcome back to the latest episode of the Fourtrak restoration. As you can see, the Fourtrak has changed locations. It's now in the other workshop because obviously that body is on the chassis. Eventually I'll be doing the bodywork in here. But something I want to address first is the brakes. I mentioned last time that this truck currently has no brakes. It's got no handbrake system and it's got no brake calipers fitted at the moment. The reason for that is I was going to put brand new brakes on this thing, but the ones I bought were incorrect despite being sold for an F78 Fourtrak. And I just can't seem to get the correct ones anywhere. No one seems to be able to supply the right part. So the brakes that were on this vehicle did work when it came in. There was nothing wrong with them. I just want to put brand new ones on if I could. As I can't, I'm going to have to refurbish the old calipers. So as you can see, they look a little bit crusty, but as mentioned just now, they did work absolutely fine when it rolled in here. So I think what I'm going to do is tidy those up as best as possible. I've got a rebuild kit for those, so new pistons, seals, etc. And I'm also going to blast the actual body of the calipers and repaint them so they look a little bit smarter. The lines have been redone, etc. So may as well have those as good as possible. So before I do any body work on this truck, I want to make it so the brakes work, it's safe to move around them, because as you know from the last episode, it now starts, runs and drives. We want to make it stop. So that is the focus of today's episode, getting those brakes refurbished and working. So let's crack on with that. Right then guys, that is the refurbished calipers and new pads fitted to the front of the Fourtrak. I have obviously rebuilt the rear drum brakes way back when, so they were fine. I've just realised I haven't taken any footage of the bleeding process that I've done here, but the brakes are all bled and they all work absolutely fine. I'm sure most of you guys watching the channel know how to bleed brakes, so you haven't missed much there. Anyway, nice firm pedal, everything appears to be working and largely leak free. I had a little dribble from a union on some of the new lines across the rear axle. A couple of little spots on the floor, but that's just from the collection bottle because I'm solo bleeding this. I'm just using a solo bleed bottle. So that's not a leak from the brake system itself. Anyway, next stage for me is to chuck the wheels back on this thing, give me a little run up the yard and just check those brakes do work. So that is the next thing I'm going to be doing. Okay guys, so the truck is now back in the workshop. As you've seen, those brakes are working. If I'm being completely brutal, they probably still feel a touch spongy, just a little bit spongy, but what I'm going to do is use them in their current state while I move the truck around the workshop, while it's getting bodywork done, etc. And then before this thing goes for MOT, I'll bleed them again, make sure there's absolutely no air in the system. But I'm happy that we've actually got brakes and this thing is safe to use. In terms of the handbrake system, I am on the case tracking down some cables at the moment. As I said before, they seem to be very hard to get hold of. One of you guys commented about a certain guy on Facebook in the Owners Club who can source them. I'm in touch with him. He seems like a really good guy. So we're working together to try and find some cables at the moment. If that comes off, that would be great. If not, I'll have to try and make these old ones work somehow. I'd rather not use those, but we'll see. Anyway, bit of a short and sweet one today. The brakes are now working, so this thing is now running, driving, and it will stop. So that's good news. So hopefully, the next thing you're going to see me doing is starting to tackle this bodywork on this Fourtrak. You can see here all the damage and things that I've sorted, which were hidden before. So we're going to be addressing that and making this thing look a little bit better. And then, of course, the next phase after that will be the big rebuild, putting everything back together and making it look like a truck again. But as always, thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this and you're not already subscribed, please think about doing so. If you don't want to subscribe, please let me know why not. I mean, I think something like 80% of my viewers don't subscribe, and that's fine. I just want to know what I could do better. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.